watched HBO's new series, The Leftovers. I watched the first pilot episode, and I'm just going to kind of give a quick review about what happened in this show. And it was kind of weird. I'm not going to try to spoil anything because there's really no spoilers as of yet. It's just the first episode. But in this show, 2% of the world just up and vanishes. And now I did
that show.
I did the math. That's about 140 million people. So you say, hey, there's about 7 billion of us on this planet. What's 140 million? But it could be kind of weird.
Yeah, well, that anytime 1,000 people die in some event, we make a big deal out of it. Even less than that. So 140 million.
It's pretty crazy.
10 New York cities, 20 New York cities, whatever that would equate to. So
yeah,
that's quite a bit.
And so actually, the biggest person in this show that I could see is Liv Tyler. She's actually in this movie. She didn't have a huge part in the first show, but we'll see how it kind of goes. But so it centers around a police chief of this smaller town. The dad. He's got 2 kids. He's got a daughter who's kind of just being rebellious through high school, and a son who has run off and joined this like almost military cult in the desert. And they don't really explain what's going on with those guys. The wife has up and joined this cult where they do not talk, but they continually smoke cigarettes, and they have like signs all over this compound saying, "We don't smoke because we want to. We smoke as a protest or something." It's like, what? So yeah, it's pretty weird.
To annoy people that don't smoke.
Yeah, and so what I've kind of found out that what happens after 140 million people disappear just randomly, and you might say, oh, it's like a rapture thing. Oh, it's like this. No, they kind of dispel it that it's not a rapture thing, because like criminals are disappearing, like evil people are disappearing just as well as like good people, and so nobody knows where they're going, who took them, or what's going on. So it's kind of weird.
Hey, just because they're criminals doesn't mean they don't get to get into the rapture. Who are you to judge, Brian?
Well, I'm saying
maybe these are some repentant criminals.
Well, let's just they do go through, maybe they are. Okay, well, fine. We'll say that they are. But like they go through a list of some of the famous people who actually disappear. J-Lo is one of the famous people who disappears. Gary Busey was one of the people who disappears, and actually Pope Benedict, the 26th. Which number was he?
16th was the last one.
Okay, Pope Benedict. Okay, well, I was close. There was a 6 in there. And they actually do make a funny joke because they're showing the names, and one guy goes, "How does Gary Busey get taken with the Pope? That makes no sense." And it didn't really, but the show is interesting. There's a lot of things that I could see kind of bringing you in, like if they're like, hey, this is why all these people disappeared, and they all come back as aliens or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, if you're looking for a really good show to watch, this isn't really it. But if you're looking for something that's mildly entertaining, go ahead and check it out.
Honestly, I think they need to do something about that name. When I hear The Leftovers, I think this is a comic show, because leftovers, the thing you think of with that is old food. Not people left behind after millions of people suddenly disappear.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention is like the kids, the high school kids play this really weird like Kiss the Bottle iPhone game, where one of the things is where like you can either kiss them, have sex with them. But there's 2 things on there that really just kind of weird me out. One is get burnt, where they heat up a fork and burn your arm, and another is choke, where somebody like chokes you out. So I don't know where they get the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to mention that because it just was like, huh, what the hell's going on? You darn kids!
These are some advanced children.
You darn kids! But yeah, so I mean, they did have a pretty interesting ending sequence where they kind of mentioned that any animal who saw their owner disappear, especially dogs, will never go back home. They become feral animals, and at one point you see a pack of dogs attacking a deer, and these guys go up and they kill all the dogs. So, I don't know. It was just kind of interesting. So, check it out if you want to be interested.
Kill the dogs. I mean, they're hunting a deer. They're not hurting anyone else. Like we sometimes take aggressive measures against dogs that attack humans. This isn't attacking a human.
Yeah. the guy says that those aren't our dogs anymore, and there's something else wrong with them. And
so it's because they're not your dogs. It's okay to go kill them. Just
hey, I'm not advocating dog violence. I'm just saying that's what they do, and it was actually an interesting part of the story where they're kind of.
I'm just saying that they're just putting a big target on their backs for the animal rights groups. Just be like, what is going on? This is an evil show with. Because they all have accents like that too. Evil show, the way they kill the dogs.
Evil show.
But yeah, I think they're kill the dogs for eating a deer.
I think the point of it though is to kind of show that there's something else going on behind these disappearances that nobody else has figured out. But the animals, you know how they get a sense if there's a volcano going to erupt, they go the other way. I think that's kind of what they're trying to foreshadow with that. So again, I'm probably going to watch the next couple episodes just to see where it goes, if it goes anywhere, and if it
that's
doesn't.
The case. Hold on. If that was the case, then the whole deer thing could only mean we're going to be hungry soon. Therefore, we better go eat a deer, or the deer are about to rise up and kill us all. So,
well, hey, maybe, and then the dogs helped us. So why'd you kill all the dogs? But
that would be kind of interesting if that turns out to be the case. That it's really the deer have been are organizing some secret plan.
They're the ones who actually made all the humans disappear. It was the deer. They're tired of us taking over their lands. But yeah, I don't know.
Now
Check
I'm interested.
Out. Let me know what you guys think about the show. Is it worth continuing watching? Is it even worth watching if you haven't seen it already? Let us know in comments down below. Of course, at Where's My Face on Twitter, where'smyface.com. Just interested in see what other people think about that show. But